news.
James Monroe just beat Rufus King in the presidential election of 1860.
Now over with Brianna and Maria with our new president.
Thanks, Gustavo and Austin. Now coming to you live from Philadelphia, where we're waiting for newly elected President Monroe to get back from his inauguration. Oh look, he's here. Follow me. President Monroe, what is your new goal for the economic system?
The American system.
What else? Thank you. More on this later when we go back to Gustavo and Austin.
Thank you, Brianna. Obviously, the president is very busy right now, so tune in tonight on Maria.
She will be interviewing the president himself tonight at 7.
Thank you, America. Good night.
This way, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
This way, Mr. President.
Hi, thank you for being here on Maria. 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 Please sit down, Mr. President. Congratulations on your big win.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your big win against Rufus King.
Thank you.
A lot of people have been wondering about the American system that was proposed by Alexander Hamilton. What is your view on this? What are you going to do about that?
I really admired the system, and we're going to implement it into the American economy.
Can you specify exactly what the American system is?
Well, the system consists of 3 parts. First would be the second bank of the U.S., which provides larger financing that the smaller banks cannot handle. And the second part is that we're going to put tariffs on British imports to stop the influx and to also prevent them from slowing the growth of American industry.
I'm going to let you finish right now. But first, this.
And tonight on Keeping Up with the Jeffersons.
You're not paying attention to your baby. Look at her. She wants to play with you.
This Constitution is more important to me.
I'm taking her.
I love Sally anyways.
I don't even like Thomas.
Welcome back to Maria, where we're here with Mr. President Monroe. Tell us about your third step of the American system. What will that be?
Well, our third step would be internal improvements, including roads and canals that connect each state together.
And why these? What will the effect of building roads and canals?
This will increase migration between the states and it will create a more unified nation.
And who will be paying for these?
Well, there's Congress who thinks that we should use the national and federal money to pay it. But then there's me who thinks that we should use the state's money and individual private money to pay it.
Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. President.
It was a pleasure.
Now on 10 p.m. news.
Isn't it pretty ironic, Gustavo, that Jeffersonian Republican would focus so much on industry?
I totally agree with you, Austin. It goes against the values that are focused on their agrarian society. I think all this canals only stimulate industrial growth.
Well, we'll see what happens with the new president, James Monroe.
That was good.
Several bad puns later.
The following is an emergency broadcast brought to you by your news reports.
My coworkers are dead. There's a deflation. Banks are failing because they lend out too much money to people looking for land. Prisons are full of people who owe money. People are being left unemployed. We have to compete with foreign goods.
Did you even understand any of that?
So obviously this video clip was very exaggerated. The current crisis we are having right now is the first crisis that's been in place ever since Washington's presidency. Currently, the second bank of the United States has gone bankrupt because it lent out too much money to people looking to settle land. Our shipping industry has reached its peak, and because Britain has now started exporting its goods into the U.S. once again. The public has demanded more information, so we have President Monroe here with us again. So you can elaborate more on what the purpose of the second bank of the United States is?
Well, the second bank would create a strong national currency for the nation, and it would also provide a bunch of credit for each individual state and the government itself.
And what about the protective tariff that you've set up? What's the purpose of that?
It will put a tax on British imports of woolens, cottons, iron, leather, paper, and sugar. And it will also help to ensure the success of Eastern manufacturing.
Where did this idea of the American system originally come from?
Well, this idea came from Henry Clay, who is also a Jeffersonian Republican. And it was intended to build a national economy and to unite the nation both economically and politically.
So the effects of the American system were the national road from Atlanta to Illinois, and then the Erie Canal, and then this would also later lead to a source of heated arguments within the nation.